What's going on, everybody? This is AJ Capasso here with Talking with the Source and Coventry Circle Paranormal. I'm here with my two best friends.
Jonathan Keyworth, JK's 47 Paranormal.
And Robin from Hawthorne Paranormal.
So, hey,
I just want to give a shout out to my Army brothers wearing my shirt here. Where is it? There it is. Army brothers.
Hey, you know what? With all that's going on today, it's a great thing to do. But we also want to give a shout out to Parapost Network. And also, we want to give a shout out to FCD Ghost Boxes for sponsoring this. And if you guys haven't heard of Parapost Network, please head over to Parapost Network. Check it out. It's a community of amazing podcasts, some amazing people, and we are just super happy with the growth that it's having. But tell you what, guys,
and head over to FCD Ghost Boxes and see what Nigel has on his site.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, today we have an awesome show. I mean, I am super pumped. I mean, I know you guys are. We have the one and only psychic medium, Patti Negri, coming on. So let's bring her in. You know, I'm super excited to have her on.
Wait, man.
Hey, Patti.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you.
Oh,
not a problem.
Being here.
My pleasure. Of course, the lawnmower guy just showed up. So there you go. My dog's barking upstairs. Another day at my house. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Screaming little ones upstairs. My nieces and a German Shepherd who likes to go along with them. So I feel your pain.
All right. Yay. Be in it together.
There you go. Exactly. Guys, I'll let you guys start first. So
go ahead, John.
So, Patti, you've been on a lot of shows. You've been doing a lot of stuff. Why don't you tell us exactly how you started and what got you to where you're at?
Okay. It started a long time ago. I've been seeing spirits. I've been talking to spirits since I could talk. I just knew that and I think kids really can. I just knew the so-called imaginary friends little kids have weren't all imaginary, almost cliche, like the guy in the closet and under the bed they gave me real information and were real. And it just never got taught out of me. And I was always obsessed with the dead, not in a dark or morbid way, just wanted to talk to them. So I literally did my first seance at 7 or 8. I was always a seeker. I didn't have any religions or typical religions getting in the way. My parents thought it was bad or anything like that. So I've always been a seeker to try to figure it out, studying religion, philosophy, and all that my whole life. Kind of settled on my own little witchy pagan person, but I study and work with it all because it's all energy anyway. But I always kept my life really, really separate. I was in a coven. I was a medium. I talked to dead people, but I also ran a production company. I'm also in the middle of Hollywood, and I was really corporate. And I was like, for years and years, I was like, these people just cannot know. I talk to dead people and dance around, bonfires, drumming in a cloak. So I kept it really separate until 2008, I think, and I was a Hollywood girl. I was an actor. I was a producer. I was a sketch improv comedy. This was my world, but not the paranormal part. But in 2008, that big economic crash came and corporate entertainment became a dirty word. So my shows just went crash. And at the same time, reality television was building. I mean, we didn't yet know quite what it'd be 2008. And somebody called me and they go, Patti, we need you to do one of your seances. We know what your seances are, how you lift the veil on a TV show. I'm like, no, I can't. I could do an acting role. I can't. That's my private life. And she's like, please, we really need you. No, I can't. And I'm looking at my empty calendar going, no, I can't. And I'm like, well, what's the name of the show? And they go, it's called Mobile Home Disaster. And it's on country music television. And I'm like, well, nobody will watch that. Sure, I'll do it. Who would watch a show? Again, who would know? Everybody would watch a show called Mobile Home Disaster on country music TV. So I did it, and it was really fun. I loved getting to do what I do, my passion. I got to help this living little girl. I got to help this ghost spirit, this little girl who was drawing vortexes on the roof of her motorhome, and they thought she was crazy. I'm like, no, there are vortexes on the roof. And it was like so much fun, and they got to follow me around with 3 cameras. I didn't have to memorize lines, and my message is just about, I don't care what you believe, just know how powerful we are as humans, and I got to do that. But okay, it's over. Never again, not going to do it. That was fun. And of course, then it aired. Very next day, one of my biggest corporate clients, I think it was a bank I did shows for nationwide, called up. He's like, Patti, I saw you on TV last night. And I'm like, oh, as my voice raises, she's like, yeah. Oh, and she's like, I didn't know you were into the paranormal. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I love the paranormal. And we had the best, most real conversation we ever had. And I'm like, to heck with it. This is who I am. This is what I am. I'm out of the closet. I'm out of the broom closet. I'm out of the psychic medium closet. I'm out of the paranormal closet. And it's just been insane ever since. I don't even have time for my protection company. I still have it because I'm literally smack in the middle of Hollywood is where I live. Knowing what I do, all of a sudden I became the person to call. If they needed a psychic, if they needed a medium, if they needed a house clearing, if they needed a witch, if they needed a shaman, because number one, I know what I'm doing on camera. The silly things that when we go into reality, people don't know, from hitting marks to how to match and doing, nothing to do with acting. But so I just became the person to call, and it's fun. I go, this is so much more fun than, HR department motivational seminars for the sales department.
Yeah.
You know, I find though that a lot of people, I find anyway, that they talk to you normally, and then when you mention that you're into the paranormal, it's like the amount of them that people that say, oh, so am I, and all of a sudden it completely changes. It's like people are so into it, but keep it aside.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like our secret club.
It really is. What's funny is back when you said in 2008, like a lot, the paranormal I felt was still not really like in the forefront, like you were saying. So when you talk about it, people would be like, oh, you're crazy, or, whatever. Like, especially like as a media, like, oh, I see ghosts. They're like, oh yeah, sure you do. You know what I mean? I totally get what you mean. But I tell you what, like, go ahead.
Oh no, I was thinking like right around that time, the only 2 shows that I could think of that were on were Ghost Adventurers and Ghost Hunters. I think Nick was still on Ghost Adventurers then too.
Oh yeah, he was on for a long time. I came on to Ghost Adventures in 2015, and he had just left not very much before.
Yeah. Over here we were in a show, I don't know if you've heard about it, Patti, called Most Haunted.
Yes. Most Haunted.
Yeah, we weren't really seeing Ghost Adventures at the time. Nobody really knew much about it because obviously it was an American thing, and over here Most Haunted sort of had people's attention like that. And it was I only ever found Ghost Adventures by literally watching every episode of Most Haunted, and then when I got to the end of it thinking, right, I need something else to watch. So I went on and typed in paranormal programs, and then it popped up, and I thought, oh, I'll try that.
Yeah. I tell you what, and it's one of the biggest ones around now, like Ghost Hunters is absolutely huge, but Ghost Adventures is to a whole nother level. And those guys, in my opinion, I mean, they're awesome. I never truly got to meet them personally and have a conversation, but just the vibe they give, and with them working with you, I mean, getting to speak with you before we came on the show, I get to see you as you on that show now, just as here, what people don't really think, because they think, oh, it's just staged, or it's this or it's that, and it's like, no, there's a lot more to it. And I wish people knew. I wish people really got to know. So.
I know it's silly because I mean all the stuff they make fun of Zach about that they're big and that not in the. It's because they put in 120% enthusiasm, belief, and they give their all. So that's why some people, but that's why they're still on air like 25 seasons later or whatever it is, because the passion is there. Believe me, they would never fake the tiniest thing. I never know where I'm going.
My favorite
we blindfolded. You've heard of what?
I love Aaron. I think he's the funniest.
Oh, Aaron is great. Aaron, they're all great, and they're all the best of friends. And again, they're all like, it's like picture like kids in the playground playing when you are in your world you are creating. That's how they all are. And they're the best of friends. And it's always an adventure because I never know what I'm going into. Even with like the Cecil Hotel, I didn't know I was going to the Cecil Hotel. Here's this little address 2 hours before. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I actually wanted to ask you about the Cecil one. Not just the Cecil, but all episodes you've been on in general. So if you don't mind me asking, like, what did they just tell you? Hey, Patti, we need you, and then they won't give you any information until literally have someone pick you up, or right?
Yep.
That's that is
completely. If like I've sent them a couple locations going because I work and I go, oh, you guys are gonna like this. And if I've sent them a place like I did with the Reseda House and I did with one I didn't even go on with, and then I'll just the Pasadena, my friend Richard Lael's, I'll introduce it and say, this is what I've experienced there, and I go home. They don't want anything like repeated or anything. So it's just, here's an address, show up, or here's a plane, get on a plane. And with the Cecil, literally, Zach called me like 2 weeks before. He said, Patti, we are going to be in LA and we need you. Okay, cool. And then I didn't hear anything. And then 2 weeks later, I heard, he called me up. He goes, okay, we are here. We're downtown LA. And can you get here in 2 hours? I'm like, 2 hours. And I was at my brother's, like, I'm a girl. It's like, did I wash my hair? Do I have time to put on a lip gloss? 2 hours. I don't care where we're going. Can I dress?
Yeah.
And
I'm that guy all the time.
I know. It's like, so I just like, yeah. So I got home and I got there downtown and it's like Skid Row is funky. And and a rat didn't want to let me in. I saw the sign. I go, oh, that's the Cecil. All I knew, because I'm never really said, I go, that's the water tower going. Oh, that's the Elisa Lamb. That's all I knew. And I'm walking through Skid Row and I'm a rat wouldn't let me in. And usually they'll scurry away and they'll startle you and scurry. This one, I'd go right and the rat would go right and I'd go left and the rat would, and we're dancing in the middle of downtown LA. I'm like, come on, rat, I gotta go in. It's my time. So I get in and that building just takes you over. I just felt like a wall's coming in on me and you get depressed and you get desperate. And I'm like, and I just allow trance state to go on. And then there's Zach and the guys. They've already got their camera strapped on. They've got their equipment. And they're like, hi, Patti. And hi. And they're like, okay, Patti, there's 14 floors and there's 700 rooms. They are all unlocked. And you tell us where to go.
Okay.
Okay. And I, you're scared to death. I'm always like, what if I get crickets? What if I'm not, psychic today? It's like, well, I got nothing. But so they go everywhere that is so charged that you never get nothing. I remember getting in the elevator, just pushing a button. And then I led him right to a room that, somebody jumped out the window and he thought I was going to jump out the window. I led him right to another. So, but that place is insane. That is
I bet.
Insane.
I'm so happy they let them in there, because at first I didn't know if they were going to at first, because I remember Zach saying some things about it, like they were having, obviously the hotel and stuff. They didn't want to, a lot of the places they're like get nervous that like, oh, when one major show comes, then all of a sudden all these little amateur, people try to get in, and I can understand completely, but I know what you're talking about when you're talking about that energy feeling. And what I wanted to ask you was, when you were like before you got into like obviously doing the paranormal shows and stuff, would you be at like places for corporate or at like, Hollywood and stuff, and like all of a sudden a spirit would be right there and you just like wouldn't say nothing, or how did that work?
Yeah, but I do have an on-off switch, which has made me sane and be able to live in this world really well and not be like the woo-woo girl on the corner, and live in that world, which makes it stronger, is I have an on-off switch. But yes, because in the corporate world, me being in Los Angeles, I can't tell you how many nothing to do with paranormal shows I've done on the Queen Mary. And that's crazy haunted. It's like in the dressing green room for the actors, like, excuse me, spirits. No, we have a murder mystery to do. It's like, so yeah, it's funny and a lot of, big in life, big in death, little quiet people are little quiet ghosts, and big in Hollywood, you're big ghosts. So just like you guys, paranormal will go to the insane asylum and the prison and the serial killer's house, which we, in Hollywood, there's a bunch of really fun ghosts hanging out because they went to the Academy Awards at the Roosevelt. And so I like fun big ghosts too.
Yeah. Hey, Absolutely. I wanted to ask, guys, I don't want to take it over. Do you guys have a question before? Because I have so many questions to ask Patti. But go ahead, guys.
No, I wanted to ask you, Patti, if it's okay. A place that's been on my bucket list for a long time, and I will get there someday, is the Winchester Mystery House. Have you been there?
I have. I'm going there in a few weeks to do or next month. I don't know. I have been there, but not for an investigation. That's one of those. I did a show there. I did a production show, and it's a crazy. Besides that, it's haunted. You get lost. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It's like so that throws you off anyway. So I'm excited about going there in the month or so. I'm going with Jim from Spirit Realm. I was supposed to go there. I work with TFIL, these YouTuber guys who are like, their YouTube version of paranormal. We were supposed to go there last week. We went somewhere else, but the Winchester Mystery House got real picky with them and said things like, you can't do a seance. You can't use the word demon. You can't bring a medium. You could only use ghost equipment and all this kind of weird stuff. So I stayed home and then I went to the next location the next day, but they did let the guy that we're going with know. They know. I go, did you tell them what we're doing? They're not going to shut us down because we lifted the veil, so, but it'll be okay. So yeah, but I have never done.
For me, it really is. It's completely fascinating to, watching all these programs on it and reading about it and stuff like that, and to find out how it's built and how she wanted it built and how confusing it. And I've seen obviously loads of programs, and it's like you think to yourself, it's just amazing how the architecture in it.
Yeah, stairways to nowhere, nothing, and you're just picture yourself. You're a little rat in a maze, and you could not ever find the front door ever again, or you'll open a door and it'll be like 3 stories down.
Yeah, no, it's wild. And you know what? Did you ever? I mean, I know you said you've been there, but you haven't got a chance, obviously, with the investigation. But did you ever get a sense of the energy of her, of the reason why when being there, of like maybe why, like that feeling that she was getting of why to build it that way, like for the spirit?
Sarah Winchester. Well, a psychic told her to. I actually, because that was in those days, the spiritualist days when the seance is really big. It turned into a whole religion, and some psychic or medium told her she would be cursed by the Winchester rifle if she ever stopped not building on the house 24 hours a day, which would be insane. So she did. She had the seance room. And so I don't know. I have a friend who coincidentally lives like literally butts up to the property, and she sees Sarah Winchester all the time. Wow. Like wanders over to her property because she's got a big yard too. It'll be interesting. Yeah.
So can I just quickly say a shout out to everybody on there coming from AAP's channel, because it's a channel that I watch, and the support everybody's coming over and they're actually saying that they're coming from it. So thanks for coming, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. And I see a lot of comments about your doll to the right there.
I don't know which one they're talking about. Honestly, the one way in the back, she's the haunted. She's Belle. She's 105 years old. She's been seen doing weird things on TV forever and ever and ever. I had never done a Facebook Live, and just opening her up, I got 50,000 views. I don't get 50,000 views. I get 50 views, 100 views. But that was her, and you will see her move and do all sorts of things. This one that people are saying creepy, she was given to me. A girl didn't know if she was haunted or not. Actually, she's not, but she thought Belle needed a doll. But a few weeks ago, this was hysterical. I teach. I have a school, University of Magicus, and I was teaching a psychic protection class, like for paranormal investigators or something like that. And I'm sitting here, both my hands are up in the air. I talk with my hands, and all of a sudden, this doll goes.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I didn't even notice that. I'm just yapping away. I've tried to debunk it a billion times. I can't, and I'm like, it has no ghost. There is, but a friend blew up the video actually and saw a mist come out of here and into her and moved her. So it could have been Belle for that, or it could have been something. I have a pretty active house. I try to keep it positive active, but it's active.
Now,
so
I actually,
so
I have.
Well, I'm sure you're the one that can handle it. So.
yeah, handle it could be you. The one question I want to ask, do you notice being that basically like that lighthouse in that realm? You know, like do spirits just come and show up at the house? How does it work for you?
Well, my house is really, really warded. There's a ghost lives here, a French ghost, and I'm so sorry about the dog.
Oh,
I'll try to just stay close to the microphone. My house was built in 1920. It's a little Hollywood Hills bungalow, movie cottage. Little, I've just made it regular size. But this French artist lived here from the 60s to the 90s till 98. She passed. I got it in 2001 and renovated it, but it came with a ghost, and all her artwork was in the dirt basement. And so it's all over the house. So it's almost like a shrine to this lady who lived here for like 40 years, who was French and an artist. So she's crazy active, really protective. She'll take pictures out of frames. My husband's a drummer, and we have like a drum display shelf. It's like 12 feet up. She plays the drums all the time. That's so much more fun than table tipping. It's like, they're high. You get rim shots and stuff, but it's
Absolutely
protected. I keep it energetically clean and clear. I've had a couple bad things. Once I had something roll down from across the street, and once I was doing, I dropped my own protections. I was with my old producer, and we were going to do a thing on the Black Dahlia house, and Dr. George Hodel, who did do it, and I've let him channel on Ghost Adventures and one other show. Hey, Willow.
Did you see that orb, guys? Did you see that light anomaly?
Did you guys see it, orb?
There.
Welcome. Wait, hold on. Let me, Willow.
Go ahead. Hey, I don't talking to your dog. I don't know if anyone hears that.
I'm sorry. So anyway,
your dog.
Okay. Anyway, so what happened? We were using a Ouija board, which I've safely used since I was 7 or 8, unless you screw it up. Wait, hold on. Willow, come here.
Hey, you know what's so funny? My German Shepherd could hear this dog on here, so he's going nuts up there. I loved it. I love it.
Yeah, all 3 of my dogs ran up the stairs.
Yeah.
I just locked her in another room. She's gonna cry any minute, but it's because of the gardener's here. It's all bad. Okay.
There you go.
So anyway,
Julie's seen that orb as well.
huh? Do I what?
My partner Julie, she's seen that orb as well. She put it on the comments.
Really? Yeah. It's like an active house. It's a really active house. It's an old. It's over 100 years old. It's I do magic here all the time. I lift the veil here all the time. I see clients here all the time. I do rituals and spell work here. Again, usually they're all really good, except for when they're not. But the Black Dahlia one, I was using the Ouija board, and I didn't do it. All of a sudden, I got pushed up to the back of my chair so hard, I heard the crack. And I'm like, and I'm sliding down to the floor. And she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm not. I'm really, and I always say I'm okay. It's like, it's a flesh wound in my head. And I'm like, no, it had hit me so hard. There was no one behind me living. And I thought it broke my ribs, but it literally ripped all the cartilage off my floating ribs and ribs. So it was like a month of pain of me going, oops, forgot to set up my wards and protectors on that one. And one other time, which I've talked about this a lot before, I was also in my neighborhood, because it's like the oldest movie neighborhood in Hollywood, right under the Hollywood sign. It was the first movie enclave where there'd be a little writer's house, like the staff people, and then a movie star mansion, the little writer's house and the movie star mansion. I was at another house built by Charlie Chaplin, and then the Rolling Stones lived there, and then the person who invented the real life sex doll, and then Marilyn Manson, who was my neighbor for 7 years, and he recorded there in the basement. Dark house, creative people. And I was doing a seance there for a documentary, and that one, I let one kid get disrespectful and out of hand without controlling him enough. And not him, but the cameraman burst into flames. Literally, not standing in front of a fire. These are fake candles. Not standing in front of a fireplace. Just like angel wings of fire up his back. Everybody's screaming. Wow. I've become medic Patty, of which I am. His shirt's burning off him like this. He was a super skeptic, not by the end, because he spontaneous combusted. So that was pretty cool. But he was so intrigued. He's like, no, let's do it. I'm okay. Sure. Yeah, I have a sweater, take the burnt shirt off, I'm watching at the blistering. the kid who caused it got really well behaved. There was going to be no more smart aleck from this guy. And I talked to the spirit. It wasn't even demonic. Demons get way too much credit. I'm like, come on, we're not even going to shut you down.
Right.
So we finished it. It's still a lot of crazy French doors flying open, speakers coming on, like they sound like a spirit box, white noise. They weren't even plugged in, glass flying out of the cupboard. But we tried to push the cameraman off the cliff. I don't know. He must not have liked cameraman. If two cameras caught it. Bursting into flames. But the happy ending to this insane, which it's like nobody, burst into flames on my watch. This is not good for my reputation. But he showed me his back 3 weeks later, and it literally looked like he had got a tattoo of a dragon on his back. Open mouth, sharp teeth, winged head into the shape of a serpent.
Wow.
And that is the exact energy I called in to close the seance. I work dragon energy. It's crossroads magic. I have dry. I'm like, and it looked almost like a tattoo. The scar. I'm like, oh my God, you have a tramp stamp on your back. That is so cool. Of a dragon. He was intrigued too. He was so blown away and became a believer. He actually wrote they haven't done it yet. I don't know if they will. A movie script about this TV psychic medium who does all the shows, and then a portal gets opened, and then it becomes a horror film. He actually wrote it with Stephen Norrington, the guy who wrote the Blade series and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Way Left of Center. I hope they do it. I want to see somebody movie star playing me.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I did sit down with him literally for 5 hours. I sat down with 5 hours going, Lauren, you cannot say that in the script with the seance. He goes, but you said that. I go, I know I said that, but that does something to the energy. You don't want to be one of those cursed horror films, do you? Because that happens. That's why those spirits don't know the difference of an actor's reading something off a page, the energy that's in those sounds and words. You don't want to be in one of those movies where all the actors die at 27 in a car crash. It's like, no, let's change the words. They won't do anything. They'll be just as scary. So I don't know if they ever do it, no one will be injured by it.
That's a crazy awesome story though. I mean, that evidence, because the combustion out of nowhere. I mean, even just the dragon on the back, and then also the symbolism of you working with that energy is just such amazing thing. Can you explain a little bit more about to our viewers and to us a little bit more about the witch side of what you do and the dragon?
I was about to ask that.
Yes, I can. I think it's in the blood. I would literally find myself when I was a little kid in my little suburban Los Angeles home, like picking rosemary and mint out of my backyard, my mom's garden, and stuffing it in my mom's wallet, and knowing that would bring her more money. And years later, you study the apothecary and the power of herbs. It's like, oh, I just knew that in the blood. And I always, again, my mom would have been a Protestant and my dad would have been a Sephardic Jew from Turkey. But my grandfather was this very famous psychoanalyst, philosopher, Hollywood set, atheist, practically evangelical. So anything religious or spirituality was a dirty word. We didn't have the words like God or spirit because we just didn't. But I'd drive by a church or a temple or a mosque or a park and see this energy and the people, and I wanted to see what that was. So I saw the magic, and I saw the through line that they're all really the same. And so I think I was 13. I was old enough. I asked my mom. It was so scary. I would have felt safer going, can I go to a rave or an orgy? If I could go to church with a friend, because I wanted to see a cute rock band, those Christian rock bands. And I'm like, can I go to church? And she's like, you could do anything you want. I'm like, I can do anything. And I became a seeker. So I started going to Christian church, evangelical, traditional, Catholic, Jewish, see the Jewish roots, temples, Zen Buddhism, and then I kind of, this is good. And that's when I discovered Wicca, the 80s, all that big stuff. Oh, I like this. Or New Age, first New Age, Shirley MacLaine, Out on a Limb. And I go, that's fun. It's a little chiffony and squeaky clean for me. I like get it down and dirty in the dirt. So I discovered Wicca. And since then, it's become just full circle. I can't even say I'm Wiccan. I'm eclectic. I work chaos magic. I work all positive. That's why I'm the good witch. I don't like black and white, because what's black and white? Nothing. But I only do positive magic because you can get everything you want from positive magic. Believe me, I would not be. I'm supposed to be long dead, illness, weird stuff. And I went, no. And to prove that I wasn't dead or in a wheelchair by 50, I did positive magic. I'm like, I'm going to show them. So I beat 100,000 people to get on the TV show Wipeout. I did the big balls. I did the world's largest obstacle course. And this is fun. And I'm not that athletic. And then I'm like, this is fun. What can I do? I can't cook. So I'm going to cook for Gordon Ramsay. Then I beat another 100,000 people using positive magic, and I was on Master Chef. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so fun. I still can't cook. And Gordon Ramsay's afraid of ghosts. And then I'm like, okay, what am I really not right for? And I'm like, I have no talent for America's Got Talent. No, I'm in awe of those singers and dancers, and because I've done all that, but never that good. And so next thing I know, I'm rolling around on the floor with Howie Mandel on America's Got Talent. I mean, I crashed and burned. It was, but I love that actually. So, and it wasn't negative magic like, I hope that person trips or burns their chicken. It was like, you do good and you do good. You put out, you do good, and it all comes back to you. That's it. Yeah. So I work elementally. I work with deities and energy, but we are corporal earth beings. So I work with air and fire and water and earth, like Native Americans, like the pagans that I am. It doesn't scare people so much because they understand that without having to get into, deities and gods or even religion at all. So that's just how I was born this way.
Hey, I love it.
So Patti, do you meditate? Do you, like, before an investigation, do you meditate to turn on that switch, or like, how does that work?
I'm not a good meditator. I know how to go into trance state. Again, when you've been doing it for so long, I'm always in a hurry. I'm always fast about stuff. So even in my book, I have a book called Old World Magic for the Modern World. It's like, it's great to meditate for an hour. I have to pull everything together in 30 seconds. So I came up with these different techniques using your basic psychology of mind, body, spirit, which in the craft would be creation, working, dispatch. Basic psychology, there's 20,000 books written. You have to believe it or you'll never get it. We know we'll never surpass our own belief system. You to believe you can't do something, you can't. You believe you can conquer the world, you can't. We get that. Mind, body, you got to get off the couch, take action. The spirit side of things, that's the less tangible, people don't get, but that's the battery that makes it happen. So whether you could do it through religion, go to church, whatever, pray, faith, do real new age affirmations and vision boards, great. Do what I would do, spell working, candles, herbs, oils, mugwort, and dragon's blood. But what if you could look at everything you guys have ever accomplished in your life that you've made happen, your podcast, you've believed it, you've taken action, and you had some sort of faith or magic or belief behind it. The stuff you haven't quite made happen yet. You're either not really believing, you get it, you're worthy, you're able, you're not really taking action, or you don't have that power, energy, magic behind it. You tweak them and you get it, unless you're breaking the laws of physics. We haven't figured that out, like to get taller or fly without a plane. But that's how I take into my work and my spell working. So as well. So whether it's, beat 100,000 people to cook for Gordon Ramsay or a healing health spell for a little kid, my whole thing is about empowerment. So when I go on, again, I just don't have time for long things. I'm not going to lay there and ohm forever. I'd rather take a walk in a park and sit with a tree for a few minutes. And once developing an on-off switch when I was a kid, literally, first it was the on, like old-fashioned on-off switch. And then you can get fancy with a dimmer switch. I could just I work with breath and I work with physical movement, and I could, I'm cleansed out, I'm cleared out, I'm protected out, whatever you need to do.
Definitely. And do you think by that energy, but do you think by the energy output of what you just said? Because like I know a lot of people like that who don't need to take a lot of time, like do a half an hour or an hour meditation, but can literally take that few seconds and just get into that state and all of a sudden tap into that energy. Is that what you like, just tapping right into that energy where you just just go right into it is what you're talking about, correct?
Yeah, because I do. I mean, my tools are I always have oils with me, different essential oils. Whether you're whiffing it, to me, just for anybody to remember, all you paranormal people, remember the biggest portal on your body. Your third eye is here, but this is your whole crown of illumination. The biggest portal on your body is right there, where your head and neck go together, right there, the base of your spine. I forget what it's called, but that put your protection oil there. Put your open it up oil there. But you're the combination of protection and open it up. That's why if you pray, you bow your head to open that up for God, for spirit. So when you're going, I'm always oiling up here. I'm a big believer in sigils and symbols. Do I have one there? No. I don't go into real scary places without wearing a helm of awe, a little pendant. I usually have a big drawing of one, which is a Norwegian. I work with symbols, and I work with, again, every religion and belief system, but I don't go anywhere without this.
I love it.
You could draw it in 1 second. It's a rune. It's a Viking Norwegian, but the energy goes in and bursts out. I literally, I have a little pendant. You can buy them, since all those kind of shows, you could buy them anywhere for cheap, even on my website. But I have one under my welcome mat at my house, and it keeps out burglars and bad ghosts. I wear a pendant when I'm going into real scary and dark places and I don't know where I'm going. So I have my protection techniques.
And do you want to give a shout out to your website online before you go any further?
Do I want to say my website? Yeah.
Let everybody know.
PattiNegri.com, PattiNegri.com. Yeah, that's me. Look at that. You guys have a picture and everything. That's me when I have makeup and dressed.
Yeah, it's her website. So please, guys, go there, check it out. Patti has some amazing stuff on here, and there's so much more. I mean, even just an hour podcast with Patti is not enough, because the knowledge can just give everybody and us as investigators and researchers are just beyond this. But yeah, please go to Patti's website. Also check out her podcast. I mean, it's just, Patti, you are just fascinating. And I've been telling everybody, I don't even know you, but just the energy that comes off of you is absolutely amazing. And I am just so grateful that I get to sit here with you right now and get to know you a little bit, because it's truly a blessing. It truly is. And I love what you said earlier about how when you were younger and you were driving by the mosque or the church and all this, and you were seeing these energies. And I always said to everybody, I'm like, we are energy down to the cellular level. Science knows it. So why not? We have all these different sects of religion and stuff, but in reality, I believe, like you said, it's all similar. It's all one. It's all that energy, So I totally get it.
I completely. I even read my atheist grandpa's books now, who just didn't like any kind of religion, God, spirituality, and it's like, oh, you believe the same thing. You just use science, academic words.
Yeah,
it's a template. Whatever you want to use, say God or Jesus or science or this. To oversimplify it's if you take it down to the through line of energy, there's, whether you call it the laws of nature, the laws of the universe, the laws of science, the laws of gravity. It should be easier for everybody.
Yeah,
but yeah, I love people. I love life. We humans are the most amazing creatures, because we are divine beings. Oh my God, how we even know how this works in our brains and how we're born. And we're human. We have free will. So we're more powerful in so many ways than even angels, because they're dextral. All they could do is what's holy. They can protect, great. They can enlighten, great. But they don't have a sensual side. They can't go, I'm going to wear green today and I'm going to wear blue tomorrow. They have to wear white every day,
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Completely agree. Go ahead, guys. I don't want to be the only one asking questions because I got too much to ask.
I'm just in awe right now.
Me too.
I know that you talked about your books and the shows. Is there anything that's upcoming that you can shout out that we can look out for?
Yeah, I've been working again on the YouTube. These guys, TFIL, it's Elton Castig and Corey. They're like the top YouTubers, and they've been doing it long enough that they're amazing. We go to they travel the world as big as any show, as big as everybody does. We just shot something with them that should be coming out soon. I actually can't talk about it yet, but I actually just got to work with Jack Osborne and Katrina on Portals to Hell. I did not know where I was going again at all. I was like, when they wanted me to come, I'm like, I'm going to be in Dallas because I was speaking in Dallas. They go, oh, that's close to Memphis. Ooh. I'm going to Memphis. So that's the only way I knew where I was going. Okay, but that's all I knew. And again, I'm at the hotel and I'm in the car and they walked me in. I didn't know where I was. So I just did that. I also just, speaking of the Cecil, besides, if you like Cecil, TFIL did a 4-part series. I'm in 2 and 4. The one thing about YouTubers or like you guys, your free form stuff is you don't have any rules. Like the 2 nights I spent at the Cecil with Zach and the guys, I didn't get to go to the roof at all because the days I was there, they didn't have the fire marshal there. And so I couldn't go to the roof. I can go anywhere I wanted but the roof, and I wanted to go to the roof. But when I got there with the TFIL guys, I'm like, I want to go to the roof. And they go, okay. I go, what about the fire marshal? They're like, fire marshal? We don't have a fire marshal. Like,
yeah. There's no
over the door.
We did a seance on the roof of the Cecil. We're running around. They brought a Dybbuk box from the Conjuring house, of which we opened up. And they're like kind of like young Zacks. They have that same commitment, that same give it your all. I mean, you guys are that too. I love that that's what this weird little private club that we're all in, this paranormal club. We are different. The Cecil Hill, they have a really good, their Cecil series is good. But I just shot a CW show called Mysteries Decoded, and it's all about the Cecil too. I just shot that. And I don't know when any of these are I just did a basketball one. I don't know when any of them are going to air because they just never tell you until it's like time.
Boy, you're a busy person. You're super busy.
And now I'm getting to go on the road. I'm so excited. For our little
show. That's why I was so worried because I thought, I was thinking along the lines of, she's never going to come on our podcast. She's got all this stuff to do. All you can do is ask, isn't it? You can't do any more than that. Yes or no answer, isn't it? And then it's like I said to them, I said, yes, yes. And they're like, get out of here.
Yeah, we were told. Yeah. I mean, we were so grateful for it. But I wanted to say to you that you are a very busy person, and it must be so like empowering now to be able to do your true passion in all that you love. Like, also be a old life. You know what I mean? I find that so amazing, Patti. Absolutely.
Yeah. And we all can to different extents. It's just, you just have to create it. You have to drive your own boat. You create your life. Because believe me, I was not always this. Between 15 and 30, I became victim to these health things and all that. And I wasn't that happy. I'd gone through 2 husbands already. And then I'm like, wait, I could embrace life differently. And then everything changed. Doors opened up. I've not been sick in decades. I mean, everything changed. And we have the power. Nobody else. We do. So if you have the power, if you don't have the power, who or what have you given it away to? Have you given it away to another person? Have you given it away to a limiting belief system? Have you given it away to fear? Embrace fear. Again, paranormal people embrace fear. It's not like that. Oh, I'm afraid to make the phone call. I'm afraid to ask for the raise. It's like, yes, let's go talk to ghosts. So, but take the embracing fear that we do to ride a roller coaster or to go into a scary investigation, put that into the other parts of your life, like the strive for career or love and all those things.
Absolutely.
It's $1 million industry. So just switch your thought pattern.
I wanted to also ask you too, like I said earlier, like I'm so happy that paranormal is becoming, such open now. Whereas, like you said, even back in the 50s, it was so closed. It was a little niche group, even being like a psychic or medium or anything along those lines. And I'm so happy to see, more people getting involved. I mean, even all the people on YouTube, like, the amazing group you talked about, and just the other amazing groups on there. I mean, we have all our groups on there as well. And, one of the things that I'm finding is that because of it, it's starting to become so competitive. And so we started this international group of researchers where we want to get all the people that want to work together, use that positive energy together, and and make more advancements in the field, because I think there's like an endless possibility when we all put our energies together and work towards that. And it's just amazing.
Endless. You're 100% right. We're always so taught to, this is mine and this, no, here's mine. Separate, separate, separate. It's like you're blue or you're green. You like the Yankees or the Dodgers. You like this or that. No, again, that's how I got on all those ridiculously odds. I did not deserve to be there shows. Is yes, there's room for everybody. There is room for all this. The competition could be positive thing, not a negative thing. So I love that philosophy that you guys are doing. Energetically, magically, it's 100% right.
Yeah.
I just say as well here that obviously we've got a message here from Nigel, our sponsor from FCD Ghost Boxes, on the screen there now. But can I just ask as well, because Nigel's actually in the UK here where I am. He's not far up the road. Do you have any plans at all, Patti, to come to the UK at any point?
In about 2 weeks, I'm going to be at the Festival of the Unexplained at Bosworth Hall. 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Oh, awesome.
My first time in the UK. I'm really excited.
How long are you here for?
I'm not here. I'm not very, very long. I'm like 6 days, I think. I fly in, we do the show, I fly out, but I'll be back in May in Ireland. I'm doing a Game of Thrones Castles tour, which we were supposed to do a year ago, but because of COVID. So now I'll be in Ireland in all of these amazing haunted castles where I get to lift the veil in May. I was also supposed to do Romania in May, but that's a little close to war zone. So they're pushing that back to November, and hopefully we're doing a whole Dracula castle thing.
I think the first time I emailed you about the podcast, you told me about the Game of Thrones thing. Because obviously I'm originally from Belfast anyway, so and a lot of it was all. Sorry?
Yeah, no, that John, go ahead. Say what you were asked too, because I know you're.
Oh man, I was just saying, I just get so frustrated with people that try to take advantage of people that are wanting to learn more about the spiritual. Like they charge these people ridiculous prices for classes. You know, like $200 for 5 classes. I understand you want to make money, but I don't think that's the right intention, and I don't think what you're teaching them is going to help them when they go into the location.
That's why I started a school this year.
Yeah, I saw that on Paraflix.
It's called University Magicus, University Regulus, Magickus, with my vampire friend Father Sebastian and a guy he's Italian. He's in the UK now, Jersey. Nick, he used to be Haunted Diary, and it's affordable. It's like for $10 a month you get a class a month. So the classes average $10. I teach, he teaches. We have Catholic priests, we have voodoo priestesses. We don't preach any one thing. It's a mystery school. We have Stefan Brigatti teaches paranormal stuff. We have astrologers teach astrology. We don't say this is it. This is so anybody wants to learn stuff. It's all on Zoom. So you have people just like we do right now all over the world. UniversityMagicus.com.
Oh, I love it.
And we call it, and we wanted a real simple name. And we say real life Hogwarts because it's approachable to everybody. It's not you have to get all worded out. It's
Brian John, who's a content producer over at Paraflix, and I know you're part of Paraflix as well.
Yeah.
So I want to shout out. But he just posted from Parapost Network, as you just said, and said welcome to all of us over at Parapost, because this is our first show on Parapost Network. We were approached by them and we were super happy about it. But please talk about your stuff with Paraflix, because I absolutely amazing. I mean, I see my friends Beyond the Veil Investigations always shouting out to you, and we want to hear more. Definitely, please.
Yeah, it's a streaming service. We call ourselves, and we wanted to be the Netflix of the paranormal, because we wanted stuff like what you guys are, a place to have it. I mean, I love Ghost Event. I love all those shows. I love working, but it's like there's so many people like you guys and that needed a place to do it. So I started it. Nick, the guy who's one of my 2 partners in the school, and Natalie Jones in Texas, we started Paraflix this past year, and it's doing really well. We got great subscribers. You can go do a free trial, and we got amazing stuff. You guys should bring it over. We pay better than Netflix. It's good. It's streaming service, and we have mostly paranormal. We brought over some really great horror films and some spirituality and some educational. but it's a home base for people like you and for people like us who've already seen everything on TV.
No, I it brings a lot of attention to people that, like aren't well known, as well known as like Ghost Adventures and all these shows. But it gives a place for people to see, other real investigators, real researchers who have the same passion. And I thought when I saw Paraflix, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best opportunity that could have ever came our way, from people who are YouTubers to people who are just, in the field and not on YouTube. I mean, just getting to know Paraflix and getting to meet all the people that are going to be coming on our show from Paraflix. I mean, we're just truly blessed, and I'm so happy that you guys created this. It is just such an amazing community. So keep up all the good stuff.
And we have the same. There's room for everybody. You don't have to be exclusive. You could be with this guy and us. We have people who are exclusive and they get whatever their little perks and all that. But it's, again, there's room for everybody, and there's a need and a desire, because the world's scary. The world, though between pandemics, now we've got wars. And traditionally, I think why the paranormal is only going to get bigger and bigger is two reasons. One, because the veil is thinning and thinning as we move into the age of Aquarius. They sang about in the 60s, more and more unexplainable paranormal. The veil is just thinning. So that's happening, and people are going, what's going on? And number two is when people get so scared, they want to know there's more to life than this, than war in the Ukraine, than pandemics. There's more than this. Traditionally, and you can go all through history, people would go to religion immediately. They'd find their faith, they'd find their religion. But for a lot of people, some religion is not keeping up with modern needs or people's needs. So a lot of them are going to, more alternative spirituality, whether it's real New Age and crystals or Old Age and pagan. But even people who don't necessarily want that still want to know there more. So paranormal investigators, you don't have to deal with gods or spirits or anything like that, but you still get to know there's something more out there.
Exactly. Yes. I love it. Is there, go ahead, guys. You have any questions? I'll let you guys take one.
Well, I was just going to ask, so when you get a skeptical person that, that says, oh, you're a phony fraud, like, how do you handle it? Like, I say, well, you weren't there. You have to be there to experience it,
I just love them. I like starting out skeptic. I will always go in, can we debunk this first? And skeptics, if they do turn, they fall the hardest. But if they don't want to believe, that's okay. I don't have an issue with that. Like the guy who caught on fire. He got on fire. Now he's a believer. I don't recommend that for most people. But I'm okay. I don't believe in, even that's why our school is not designed that way. You don't have to go be a witch. You don't have to go be it's just, there's a lot of different paths to drive from my house to any of your house. There's a lot of ways to do it. You could do it. You could fly, you could walk, you could drive, you could swim. Who's to say one's better than the other? So if they're more comfortable being a skeptic, great. That is great. I don't ever have to try to prove anything. But again, those are the ones that go, or when they see something going, yeah, how did that?
I'm along the same lines as that, really, because I think the same thing. If someone says to me on an investigation, they watch the video afterwards and they say, well, I don't believe that actually happened. I'm like, well, you've got your beliefs. I'm not going to stand here and beg you to change them. But I know I was there. I know what happened. You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. And I remember first time, if you get, it's the more bigger you get in the world, you're going to get press and you're going to get judged and you're going to get, everybody does. You guys will, everybody does. But I remember the first time I saw, and this hurt to the core because I'm fakepsychics.com and it was Patti Negri and I'm like, oh, what? And I looked and they went right to one of the Ghost Adventures episodes and they were saying how I looked right at the camera at the right times and all this ridiculous stuff. It's like, how I must have known it, which I didn't. I never do. But I so bad wanted to go, do you understand editing? Yeah. Sometimes my butt was just in the camera. They just cut that out.
Yeah.
But I didn't, because that you just don't start a fight. I didn't want to go there. It's like, no, Jack won't let you know what's going on. No one will. He doesn't want anything to look like that unless we're going, this is a reenactment. I'm not part of that. So, but that's what you're going to get. And if that made somebody feel better to say, because I looked at the camera at the right time and they don't understand editing, that's okay.
Right? Yeah, you have a certain time frame you got to fit it.
Yeah, we were there for the show takes 4 days to film. You get it in 44 minutes. They cut the bad part.
Yeah.
It's all real, it's all legit. But we didn't
in
see
this space
that
there
many
is
ghosts in 44 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And people don't
in this space there is a lot of competition and there is a lot of hate that goes on. I mean, we've all experienced it individually and together. There is a lot of it is competition and people trying to debunk what we've done, but say they've done it, and then it's sad. It's like you say, Patty. It should if everybody worked together, and AJ said it enough times. If everybody put their resources together and worked together, we would be catching big stuff all the time. But people just don't want to believe that someone else has done something that they haven't, and vice versa.
Yeah, but you guys put on a good investigation, a good show. People are going to like it. Then there'll be 2 shows, and those 2 shows are good, and then there'll be 4 shows, and those 4 shows, it's opposite of what people think.
Yeah, no, you're.
Look at network TV. Look at how many crime shows there are. They are out of crime. No, yeah.
Well, even reality TV is just insane right now.
Exactly.
And I can't even imagine. Also, what people don't understand. Like I went to school film and audio and for broadcasting as well. I know the whole side and all that type of stuff. People don't, when you're there with multiple cameras 4 days straight, how much footage you have to go through to make it into that 45-minute segment. And, I mean, great stuff, but, people don't realize like what work really, and I know the Ghost Adventures from a friend who have worked with Travel Channel, have worked with them, and I know the amount of effort that they put into each episode, and I know that network TV has around it where anything that's on TV is fake and all this stuff. But you know what though? I mean, I think anybody who really is in this field with a passion is in it for real. But you want to know what? There are people that are fake now. You do with YouTube.
Oh yeah, there is. It's like, and I've seen things going.
You don't need to do that. If you're respectful, I believe the spirits are going to give you the opportunity to show themselves to you if you have that great energy, and I just love everything you're doing. I can't wait for what's to come. And oh man, Ghost Dog.
Ghost Dog is in my sleep and everything. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So can I just ask Patty as well? Do you do healing and stuff as well, or?
Yeah, I have my private practice is one-on-one coaching. It used to be very much live at my dining room table in Hollywood, but then it became very international anyway, just because, when you're in an international market, and so that would be like on Zoom or something. And then with the pandemic, everything became on Zoom or something. So yeah, coaching with me could take you anywhere. It's what are you looking for? I just see the energy. If you're looking for psychic stuff, love, health, career, family. If you're looking for mediumship, you want to talk to whoever you're talking to. If you're looking for shifting up what isn't working for you, what the blocks are. That's what I do most days. I'm also really, besides my seances, which I travel the world doing, is clearings. Because of this energy, the way I see it, I see the cords between people. I see the energy of spaces. I do a lot of clearings, whether it's the little apartment next door or the biggest mansion, which I've done there in Spelling Mansion in Los Angeles, to the Phil Spector, that music crazy guy who killed the girl, to his castle, to office building. Agents buildings need clearing a lot. Lawyer buildings need clearing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I've done manufacturing things, clothes manufacturing, makeup manufacturing. So I clear the energy. And again, I work elementally, so no one has to go, this is weird. And sometimes it's ghosts and spirits and portals, and sometimes it's just negative energy and stuck energy and illness and crankiness. And so everybody keep your house clean. And you don't have to hire me. I have a book that you can download for $6 that you show how to do it yourself. So
Yeah, and I everyone
the title of it?
Patty stuff because honestly, she has.
What's the title of that book?
My dog ate it.
Oh,
Old World Magic for the Modern World.
Okay.
I'm a good marketer. Can you tell? Wait, Old World.
What's the name of the book? My dog ate it.
Yeah, dog ate it. Old World Magic for
I was ready to go and search up for My Dog Ate It.
That's my next book, I think. I actually got a couple ready to go. Old World Magic for the Modern World: Tips, Tricks, and Techniques to Balance, Empower, and Create a Life You Love. The whole thing is super. I spent more time unwriting it than writing it. That's why it's like a bestseller in 5 countries, because it's like love magic here, kitchen magic here. Why do you put salt in your bathroom to get rid of it? Here, how to do this here. Simple. Anybody can do. It doesn't have to be paranormal or anything. It's little life hacks, like most 30-second exercises to stop the chatter in your head. 30-second exercise to get rid of anxiety. 30-second exercises. So that's what it is. So you get on Amazon, it's an ebook, audiobook, or print. On my website, it's in print. So easy to find. Awesome. My dog ate it. Let's just look up my dog.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And this goes for all the kids at home. No trying to use that for excuses for homework, everyone.
Yeah. I've been using that for decades.
I know. I love it.
Just even wrote a book on it.
I know, right? Yeah. Oh, I love it. Well, that's absolutely amazing. Do you have a little longer to talk, Patty, or would you?
A little longer. My dog's quiet. A few more minutes, sure.
It's more okay. I wanted to ask you what is some things that, if people like are looking to become a medium or get into medium or to know more about their abilities, what is something that you can quickly suggest to someone? Obviously, I suggest everyone go to Patty's website, check out her books, because she does have lots of information that can help everyone in all areas. But is there a quick tip that you could maybe give some of our viewers that maybe could lead them in the right direction?
Yeah, it's consciousness. Number one, yes, you can go to my school for $10 a class. You could watch my witching hour, my podcast. It's educational. Every week I have leaders from all over the world in spirituality, psychicness, hypnotism, in whatever. My YouTube page, I teach stuff all free. But consciousness, you guys, awake. I think this whole pandemic, we did kind of become zombies. Like, we use the terminology phoned in, asleep at the wheel, automatic pilot. Yeah. Wake up. This is it. Whatever comes next, there's lots of options to that. But you don't want to be asleep at the wheel. You don't want to numb out. People, it's like, because the world's scary and we overthink. And that I work very much, all my stuff is very psychological. Left brain, that's 1 + 1 = 2. That's our logical brain. We need that to get through life. Our right brain, that's our creative, intuitive, spiritual. That's the one we go paranormal. Well, paranormal, you have to dance between the two. Your left brain for the equipment and this. But that's where you could talk to dead grandma. That's where you can do it. And it's learning to do that dance, learning to not, we're always our own worst enemy, overthinking, overspinning. So just an awareness, remembering to breathe. Nobody breathes anymore because we're always in a hurry and the world's so fast paced. All this shallow breathing is our air element. And that because we're quick breathing, then we get all chatty head or foggy head, and then we don't think, and then we just numb out. I'm going to just watch TV or drink alcohol or eat food or do whatever, all those other things we do. Instead, just go wake up. My best thing is, even why I did the book, put the elemental thing that I work, put your whole body into the 4 elements: air, fire, water, earth. Your earth is who you are, your persona. Oh, that's Jason. He's that you're funny. You're the womb and women. It's just who you are, how people know you. That's your earth, your home. Your fire is your passion. What drives you? Love, sex, God, creativity, that passion. So who you are and what drives you is north and south in an elemental compass. So, but where we get off balance is west and east. Like an airplane going like this. West is our water element. It's our emotions. Our water is 60% of our body, almost 70%. The water just has to flow. Our emotions can't be judged, stuffed down, ignored. Water is mush. And our air element, that's our thinking brain, our focus, our clarity, the chatter or the fog. So if you put your whole body into air, fire, water, it just means who you are, what drives you, your emotions and your thoughts. And where messes us up every time, it's our emotions and our thoughts. What do we need more than anything to survive? Water and air. water and air. So if you're finding yourself and you're not as happy as you could be, you guys are all happy guys, but you're not as happy because it's a scary world, or you're not as productive as you could be, like, I'd really like to do this, but I'm not. Or equally important, not as conscious as you want to be. Just instead of going, well, I'm so used to it and I'm not happy, I'm going to just go, no. Which element right now is the most out of balance? And you'll figure it out. Is it your emotion? Somebody just flipped you off on the highway, or you got to fight with whoever you live with. Justified or not, doesn't matter. Held inside seething or screamed out the window. If it's your emotions, that's your water element. If you go back to that mind, body, spirit thing, water, you need water. Running water will chop it. Think how good you feel after a shower, right?
Yeah.
Water running is just like an aspirin for a headache. So, but you can't jump in the shower, but you could always find running water, a sink, a bathroom, a kitchen, a drinking fountain, a hose, pouring a bottle of water on your hand. If you do that, but walk up to the sink, turn it on, state your intention. With this water, I'm going to release this angst, anger, fear, whatever. Run your hands, body underwater for 30 seconds. The second the water touches you, you will healthfully release that angst, anger, fear, confusion, whatever that is, in a healthy way. And now you could deal with whatever caused it if you have to. Otherwise, you've released it. You're not holding it here. But if it's your air element, again, that we just can't think straight with the world's too fast, that's your air element. You need to breathe. 30 seconds of deep breathing to make it so you don't have to do 10-minute exercise. Add sound. I do a lot of Egyptian magic, which is heka work. Every sound we make has an effect on us. Every vowel, every consonant is form and function. You could learn all that, but just know that vowels clear the head. Any vowel, any order. Think about it. Every sacred word is a vowel. Amen. Native American, hey, East Indian, falling in love, opens up this crown of illumination. So if you're going, I can't think, I've got to focus, I've got to do my podcast, and I can't chatter. 30 seconds, whether you're talking to your brain or you're talking to the element of air or you're talking to God, with this 30 seconds of deep breathing, 30 seconds of vowels, I want to bring in the air element, clarity, focus. Whether you're sitting there in your car going, or om, or E-I-E-I-O, within 30 seconds, the chatter will stop, the fog will lift, the clarity will come in. Same thing with earth. You're not feeling grounded. Hug a tree. There's something to that. But if you can't hug a tree, you're on the 35th floor of your office, but grab a pencil. This pencil still has the spirit of that tree, a rock, a crystal, a stone, a wooden thing, a granite countertop. Breathe into it. That will ground you. And the fire, it's like maybe you have a hot date and you're not feeling it. Or again, spirituality is fire too. In Christianity, it's the Holy Spirit. You want to talk to these ghosts, or maybe you're just tired. You have all the earth in the world, but you got to get up. You got an early day. And you can't dance around a bonfire, which is always my first choice. If you can't dance around a fire, the heka for fire and passion is Z. Zzz. Ask an 8-year-old kid, what does a bee sound like? Zzz. So again, okay, I need energy, I need passion, I need fire, I need whatever. I need to open up to spirit. With this 30 seconds of deep breathing, 30 seconds of Z, I need to pull in the fire element. Zzz. At 30 seconds is a long time. That was 1 second. Whether you're asking Pele or the breath of a dragon or the Holy Spirit or the beating of your heart, whatever. Within 30 seconds, you'll start feeling a tingling in the base of your spine. It'll come up your spinal cord and you'll have that fire or passion or energy or creativity to do what you need. Just those 4 things. They're free. You can do them anywhere. Can be a game changer. That's why I have to get to do everything fast. And I could do 900 things in a day. I run like 12 companies and I still have time to do this.
Fascinating.
That's it.
It really is. I mean, that is amazing. I mean, and thank you so much for that. And you will be seeing me in your class for sure. For sure. I'm just super excited to learn from you and learn more from you. I mean, you are an amazing person in my opinion, and I everything that you have done and are going to do. I wish that we could talk about some of the things you're going to do, but I know it's hush hush, and we will be surprised. I can't wait for it. But
Can I just ask as well? Not wanting to push the boat too much, but would you be willing sometime in the future to come back on the podcast, Patti?
Sure, I would. You guys are great. I love you all. I certainly would.
Thank
you. Are you anywhere near Bosworth Hall and whatever
Bosworth?
that is next?
Let me just find out actually, because I want to find that out because I'm interested in that now. It sounds familiar. 2 seconds.
It's called the Festival of the Unexplained. I'm coming out. I don't know. A lot of people are coming out for it.
Yeah, Carla says, thank you so much for all of this live. It was very enlightening. Carla, thank you for watching. Seriously, Patti, thank you so much. I mean, and everything that you're doing with Paraflix, I gotta personally thank you as a researcher myself, and having something on YouTube. It's just like, it's so refreshing to see what you're doing with that, with everybody part of Paraflix. And I can't wait to watch that grow and watch more content. Like I said,
bring us content, all you paranormal people.
I'm just going to ask for you. I'm just going to ask for you, Patti. Do you know where Bosworth Hall is? Have you heard of it?
Oh, I've heard of it.
Because she's coming over to the UK and she's doing a thing at Bosworth Hall.
I've heard
In a
of
week
it.
or two.
Yeah, in like a week. So, but
Festival of the Unexplained. That's all I know. One day at a time.
But
that's near Birmingham then. Yeah, Nigel's just said it as well. It's Nuneaton.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It's
hey,
just-
I think a haunted place and a spa. It sounds fabulous to me.
yeah, no, I've heard a lot
I'm
about
doing
it.
a mediumship gallery and ghost adventure and ghost, investigations. And I don't know. It's a Paracon.
Awesome. Well, hey, Patti,
Sorry, just while you're on as well, Patti, I just want to introduce you to our secretary.
yeah, she just beat cancer for the second time. She's a trooper.
Nice to meet you, Trooper
And you.
Secretary.
Yeah, we love our secretary.
She's just kicked cancer's ass for the second time.
Yes, yes, you can do it. I'm full believer of we have full control over that.
Yeah.
I'm speaking from personal experience, so knock it out.
Definitely not coming back again.
No.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Thank you guys. You guys are adorable.
yeah, I want to.
Me and my orbs and my dolls are gonna.
Oh no, the orb was absolutely amazing. But Patti, we just want to thank you so much, like I said again, and I know you got to run. But please keep up the amazing work you're doing, because you are just fabulous and your energy is amazing, and everything that anyone can learn from you. Please go to her website. Please watch her podcast. Go to her YouTube. Check out Paraflix. Patti's amazing. And Patti, we hope to have you on again soon, please. And keep up all the stuff that you're doing, and just keep following your heart. Love you. I love you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I will, and you guys the same. What you guys are doing here and your whole group, so you guys the same. So thank you. Magic is everywhere, you guys. You just got to look sometime.
I'll stay in touch with you by email anyway.
Okay, please do. I'm easy to find. Written everywhere.
Thanks, Patti.
Internet, bathroom walls across America. Bye.
Thanks, Patti.
I don't know how to leave. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, John, you want to bring it back to the regular way our screen normal? Okay, so guys, that was such an awesome podcast, man. I've been waiting for Patti to come on since they first found out from Robin, and what do you guys think, man? I mean, she has so much awesome.
Yeah.
I tell you what I think, right? I tell you what I think is just put thank you, you're great hosts. I tell you what I think. It's like you never believe she's actually going to come on.
No,
from the day on I first messaged her, it was like, and then she said, "Yes, I'll come on," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you won't."
But like she said, all you could do is ask, and you know what? Like I said from the beginning, Patti's the most down to earth person, which I love about her. And I'm just super happy that, we got to come on. The one hard thing, though, is that when she comes on, you have all these things that you want to ask, all these questions that you had all prepared. And then she gets on and you're like, oh, well, I totally didn't know what I was going to ask there.
No, I know what it was with me. Every time I went to ask something, it was like, damn, one of you two have asked that.
I know. I was like, oh, man. But, I think we're like little kids and we're just too excited. So
There's my wife.
Did you get starstruck, AJ?
What was that?
Did you get a little bit starstruck, bless you?
Oh, I get starstruck all the time. Please, I'm starstruck. Are you kidding me? Man. But I just want to say to everyone who was watching this, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate Brian J. We appreciate everyone over at Parapost for letting us stream live here. We hope you guys had a great time. Carla, thank you for commenting. We're glad you had a great time. Nigel, like we said, Nigel Mortimer is our sponsor. He says she's a wonderful person, shows us all our full potential and how energy can change our lives, which is absolutely true. So again, go head over to Parapost Network, check them out. Head over to Paraflix, check them out. And as well, come to Talking with the Source. Check out all our older episodes. But now, like I said, we will be streaming live on Parapost, so you will see us with every other wonderful podcast. So check all them out as well. And also, shout out to who, Robin? To our sponsor. Go ahead.
Yep, shout out to Nigel Mortimer from FCD Ghost Boxes here in the UK. His boxes are absolutely amazing, and they're a lot cheaper than other ones. They're really, and he makes every single one of them by hand as well. So, and just while I'm doing the shout outs, just want to tell the viewers as well that Patti's just messaged me on Messenger and she said thanks for having her on, and obviously she said she'll come on again. So that's a bonus, really.
Absolutely bonus, man. We love to have great people like, and you know what? She paves the way for a lot of us, and I just look forward to it. So if you have a dream, like she said, follow it. We've been following ours, and we look forward to what the journey lies ahead. And I just want to thank you guys, man, for being my best friends, being here with me. And we just want to say thank you, and thank everyone for watching. So
and
take care.
I just want to say, shout out to the troops in the Ukraine and in Russia. May spirits be with you. It's a horrible thing to go to war. I was in it, so I know what they're going through. And, my hopes and prayers are with those guys. So
absolutely.
Wish it wasn't happening.
Yeah, so it just wasn't happening. No, I really don't.
All right, guys. Talking with the Source.
Yeah, this has been Talking. Loved you. Hope you like this episode, and we'll talk to you guys soon. See you next Friday.
Not a problem.